Hey guys, what is up? As promised this morning, I am live. It is a little past 11 o'clock and here in Sunrise, Florida, it's a little overcast this morning. As you guys know, there's the hurricane news and hopefully we won't get hit too heavily. But today, I actually have a surprise guest who's gonna come on here, someone that I've been watching since I started this business, and I've been just kind of taking a lot of notes. He's been in the business for a while. And I think it's going to be very valuable for all of you to be on here and just kind of listen to what he has to say. Thanks, Jamie. Yes. Knock on wood. By Friday, they say it's going to hit on Friday. So let's see what happens. But so my surprise guest is going to come on now. I just spoke to him about 2 minutes ago, and we touched base on what we're going to talk about. And let's see. Let's see if he joins in. I'm excited about this. All right. There we go. All right, he should be coming on soon. There he is.
What's up, man?
What is up, Patrick Riehlman?
What's going on?
Good, man. Good. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. We are live. Your people are watching you. My people are watching you. I was super excited about getting you on here. As a matter of fact, for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about going live. And I had this sense of FOMO when I watched your stories. And then once I got in touch with you and you said, hey, man, I just extended my stay. And then you hashtag time freedom, which is usually... everybody has a vision, a goal in this business to get to, whether it's money, whether it's a rank or whatever. But ultimately, I think time freedom is one of those things that just matters a lot, so that you can go anywhere you want, stay there as long as you want. Why? Because you can do this online through your phone or your laptop. So that was something I was like, damn, when is this guy coming back?
Yeah. It's been a crazy Austin. August was not much time in Austin.
Okay.
A lot of time with friends and family, mostly with my family in New York, where I'm from, upstate New York. So I got to spend a lot of time with my cousins in Montauk, out on the tip of Long Island, and then got dragged into a lacrosse tournament in Lake Placid. Which I wasn't planning on, so I kind of canceled my flight back to Austin like last minute, and then drove up with my cousins to play in the lacrosse tournament. And then one of my buddies had a yoga retreat, more of like an adventure retreat in Asheville, just outside of Asheville in the Smoky Mountains. It was like hiking, kayaking, yoga, meditation retreat. So that was great. And then got to do the family reunion up in Skaneateles, New York, where I'm from. So it was like 3 weeks of traveling on the road, and my girlfriend got to fly up and not just meet my family. She's met them before, but she got to meet like all the cousins and aunts and uncles and everything, and my Grandpa Joe. And so it's been a really fun August. It's flown by. But yeah, the freedom thing is like definitely something that motivated me when I first started this coaching business. Was the idea that I could build it as like a part-time thing and work it to the point where then it could replace my full-time income, and I wouldn't have to, work for a boss anymore. I wouldn't have to check in and check out at a location. I could have that time freedom, that location freedom, that financial freedom. That was definitely a huge motivator for me early on, when a few of my, college buddies were telling me a little bit about this coaching opportunity and some of the benefits of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely was a huge motivator from day one.
I'm going to pretend that income statement goes down here, but you basically, while you were doing the lacrosse, you were visiting the cousins and just kind of enjoying yourself. You were making money as you just enjoyed yourself, right?
Yeah.
Income statement. Yep. But I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of grit. We all kind of, in any business you're starting, it has to happen. Consistency that you talk about, whether you talk about with your team or you're on your stories and things like that. Consistency matters a lot in the business, but at the end of it, ultimately you can come to a level where you are having that time freedom as well. So I just have a few questions for you. You know what they are.
I think this is such a great idea. Like, props to you for coming up with this idea to, go live on your stories and invite coaches that have been doing this for, in my case, like a decade now. But I think as a newer coach, I think this is such a great idea to do these kind of things and have successful coaches hop on and allow your followers to listen to you ask questions that are probably, on some of your followers' minds. So awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I do have a lot of coaches on my followers. And I think I look at this business as bringing value to anyone who can make something out of it. Mm-hmm. You have to have an audience, a certain niche, if you will, to touch base with, so that they can come into your team. But I think I'm a massive believer of just giving value. So if this is giving value to your coaches, by all means, it should, so that they can grow, you and I can grow. It's all about giving, right? So, but thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So briefly, tell us about when you started, why you started, like what triggered it, and then how it's going so far.
So I was a college athlete, and so in college, like, part of being on the team was working out with the team, and I didn't love the workouts, but I loved being a part of a team and being a part of that family, that community. So I was staying in shape because of that, because I was part of that team. And then when I graduated college, all of a sudden that was kind of ripped away from me, that community, that family, that team. And I was thrown into the corporate world as an accountant, and I was working crazy hours for a company called PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is like one of the biggest accounting firms.
My brother works for PwC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a partner there.
I was actually in Boston, Massachusetts.
He's in Boston, PwC.
So funny, yeah.
Yeah.
It was such an amazing experience. They expect a lot out of you at a very young age. By the time I was 25, I was, in charge of and training the 24-year-old and teaching a 24-year-old how to train and mentor the 22-year-old. So I got really good at training other people. I got really good at teaching them how to mentor other people, which played perfectly into the Beachbody coaching opportunity. But when I got into the corporate world, and I got off of a team, that lacrosse team, I struggled like with my own workouts, and I try to go to the gym and try to do my own thing and just try to figure out what to do, maybe do a couple curls here, and then I'd go hang out by the water fountain for a few minutes, and then I'd come back and like maybe try to do some other thing that I saw somebody else doing, and it just wasn't working. And I gained 30 pounds in that first year out of college, that first year behind a desk, studying for the CPA exam. I'd work all day, come home, eat dinner really quick, and then go right into studying for the CPA exam and try to squeeze in some gym time here and there, and try to just eat what I could. Yeah. But it obviously wasn't working because I put on like 30 pounds that first year. And then I kept seeing this infomercial on TV, called P90X. Like, at the end of my day, like before I go to bed, when I was done with my CPA studying, I'd turn on like Sports Center or something just to kind of like just have a second to zone out. And I'd see these commercials for P90X, and probably like maybe the 10th time I saw it, probably even maybe more than that, I finally was like, all right, this thing is like simple. It's a personal trainer that's telling you exactly what to do. You just put in the DVD and you do exactly what he tells you to do. And you follow the people in the videos, just like I felt like kind of like I did when I was on a team back in college. So that's what I did. I finally bought it. But again, like, it took me a long time of watching those infomercials before I said I wanted to do it. And I think the biggest mistake that most coaches make in this business, especially newer coaches, is they don't understand that people are going to have to see them over and over for a long extended period of time before they're going to be ready to do it themselves. They're going to probably, you can invite them to do a workout with you or join a challenge group with you, but it's probably not going to be the first time you invite somebody before, they're ready to do this. It's going to take a bunch of different invitations and follow-ups and them watching you for a long period of time before they're finally ready. But if you stick with it long enough and you're just doing what's working for you and you're just sharing that, you know, in just a very like mellow way, eventually people are going to notice that hey, this guy's still doing this 6 months later. It's still working for him. What I'm doing is not working. Let me try this. And I think that patience and that consistency is something that a lot of coaches just don't understand. They expect to come in and you know, help clients right away and expect people to say yes and join, you know, a workout program right away. And it's not how it works. But so I watched it, finally bought it, and I just loved it. Like, I just popped them in. I just followed along. I didn't have to think about what moves to do. I didn't waste any time walking around like in my head trying to figure out what the next thing was. I just listened to Tony. He told me what to do. I did it. I tried to keep up with some of the cast members, you know, and the cast members, everyone in there is a different fitness level. So there was someone I would try to hang out, like keep up with in the beginning. And then by, you know, day 20, day 30, I was keeping up with some of the guys in the back that like I couldn't have kept up with on day one. And so I just was really starting to fall in love with the idea of having a personal trainer, but at the fraction of the price, and being able to do it, you know, from home was awesome because it was hard to like commute back and forth to the gym. Yeah. And then two of my old college teammates from lacrosse, they were both coaches, and they told me about this coaching opportunity. They saw me doing P90X. They said, hey, like, you know, if you wanted to, you could sign up as a coach with the company that created P90X and all these other programs. And if you do that, you know, you'll get a 25% discount on the products. And I was using the recovery formula. So I was like, all right, that's great. And they said, if you refer people, they'll give you a 25% commission, which will help you pay completely for your products and even start to make some money. I was like, no brainer. You know, they had to kind of follow up with me a little bit. You know, I was kind of, because I was so busy with other things that you know, it seemed like a good idea, but I just got caught up in life. And so thank God they followed up with me and said, hey, like, you know, you said you're interested. Is this still something you want to do? And I was like, yeah, just, you know, I'll be ready next week or next month. And they, you know, they just were politely, you know, checking in with me. And I finally signed up. Another, you know, lesson to coaches is following up with people is so important because people are just busy. So, yeah. You know, I'm thankful they did that. And then just started slowly. First customer I ever had was my mom and my dad. I just said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I want you guys to do this with me. You know, you don't have to be a coach, but I think this would be fun to do together. And I'd love to get my first customer under my belt. And it would help my business kind of get off their floor. And also, you know, I think it'll help you guys. I think you guys would like this because they weren't really doing any types of workouts. And so I got them set up with like a beginner program, Power 90. And so I was like, hey, this will help you and it'll help me and we'll do this together. And so I kind of just started that way. And we, you know, they came to Boston and we were rolling around on the floor doing Superman banana moves from the statistics. And it just kind of started from there, you know. I didn't treat it like a business the first couple of years. It was more of like a hobby. But I watched very closely, quietly, like other coaches and what they were doing. And I saw the success they were having. And it was something that was always in the back of my mind that, wow, like these guys that are having this type of success, and then I'd meet some of them. I was like, they're just down to earth, good people that like you said, they want to give, they want to help. They want to make a difference. They're just showing up consistently. They're not superheroes. They're not like gurus or anything like that. They're just normal, good people. I could do what they're doing. I could have the success that they're having if I just, you know, gave it like 10, 15 hours a week to this thing. I could really make some moves with this thing. And so I finally was like, all right, let me get going on this thing. But it was a slow process for me. I kick myself sometimes, but
you would agree that because when we offer this as a business opportunity, people tend to kind of have that fear of, oh, if I connect with him, then I would have to jump into the business. But now your story, the first couple of years, if you will, doing this with your family, doing it on your own, you know, P90X, and just kind of seeing the transformation, I think we could both agree that you don't have to do this as a business from the get-go. You can actually benefit from it if you want to get to a certain goal. And then later on, it's funny because you automatically start thinking, wait a second, this is helping me. Why don't I share this with the other people around me? Which then people reach out to you and go, what do I do? Like, how can I impact more people? It's like, and I always say it, like, don't try to impress, but try to impact. And that's what happens when you get into this. So for those of you who are listening, you don't have to start this as a business. It's a great opportunity. There are no caps as to what you can make income statement, right? It's hard work, it's grit, but you can benefit from it by just starting, pressing play, and go. Because you talked about also the time. Time is of the essence. People spend an hour and a half or 2 hours going to the gym, just like you said. And I did this 8 months ago, where I went to the gym, I did some curls, got my phone in my hand, a few Instagram stories, scroll around, say hi to my buddies, and you just spend 2 hours in the gym. And now, if you shift that to being a parent who actually has to wake up in the morning, worry about your kids' lunch, dinner, snack, whatever, get them to school, go to work, 9 to 5, come home, and you're just battered, right?
Yeah. So I even like when people approach me about the coaching opportunity, I tell them, like, hey, that's awesome that you're interested in doing this, but the best way I can set you up for success is to start you as a client, as a customer first, and give you an amazing experience with the workouts, with Shakeology, with the meal plans, with the community, with the accountability group. Because once you have that experience, then, like you said, talking to other people about this and just inviting them to be a part of it with you and try this with you is so much easier. If someone decides they want to be a coach and they want to start, a business, but they've never used the workout programs, they don't know what Shakeology is, they don't know what the pre-workout is, or how, it's going to be it's a little bit harder to invite people to try the things that they've never even really experienced yet themselves. So I always try to, if someone's interested in the business side of it, I always tell them that, let me give you an amazing experience, and we'll talk about the business, and we'll do some training, and you'll learn that stuff as you're going through the workouts and things, but really just focus on your own journey right now and get some results, like get some belief. Exactly. It's going to make it so much easier, because then you're not selling, you're just inviting other people. Just like if you went to a great movie and recommended that to somebody, or went to a great restaurant and recommended that to somebody. When I did P90X, it was just like, well, I loved it. It works. Like, I can just easily, I was already recommending it to friends and family before I even knew there was, the coaching opportunity. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's so important to have that belief, that foundation of an amazing experience as a customer before it makes it so much easier to start, the coaching opportunity.
And the fact that, the opportunity gives you the allowance to literally walk away without any loss in 30 days just to try it out.
Yeah. I think 30 days and you get, total money back guarantee if it doesn't work for you. I even tell people sometimes, I'm like, hey, if this doesn't work and you want to send it back, like I'll Venmo you, $10 to ship it back, and I'll make sure you get all your money back. But just give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks with this thing. Yeah. And I tell them, like, give me 2 weeks, because, not only are you going to get the workouts and the superfoods and the meal plans, but you're going to get me, like you're going to get me, and I'm really invested in them. And I want to, be checking in with them and helping them set goals. And that's one of the things I fell in love with in the very beginning, was helping people set goals. One of my very first clients I ever got that was a customer lead is a retired New York City fireman, Joe Policino. And he reached out to me. He said, I need to lose some serious weight. And we hit it off. We just talked about life and sports, and we just set little goals every week for him to try to lose 2 pounds a week or whatever it was. And we just checked in, and every week he'd hit it, and now he's like one of my best friends, and he's, a coach, and he's helping all these people himself doing the same thing. Like, it's a ripple effect. Yeah. The stuff you do for others, and then they get to the point where you've empowered them to not just you're helping them, they've turned around and now they're helping people of their own. It's a very cool, like, ripple effect to be a part of and see that spread.
It is. It is. No, when you see the results in other people, like when I get the message, that's the thing. There's so online in nowadays. There's so many businesses that reach out to people for the sake of what they can get out of it. You know, I'm trying to sell you something, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to get out of it. Versus with this business, I'm giving you something, but my joy, my reward is to see the result in you so that you make this a longer lasting experience, make it a lifestyle. That's where the money comes. That's where the time for, but first, like, let's focus on you. You see the results while I work on this myself as well. Then, you know, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So much more than just like a, 3 weeks or 3 month thing. It's more of like, hey, let's not try to do something that's impossible to stick with. Like, let's create some good habits and break some bad habits that are going to shift your lifestyle a little bit. That's sustainable, long term. That's the goal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I get from people is pyramid scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Where when people start talking to you about, tell me about the business, and you start talking about it, and they go, oh, pyramid scheme. I saw you doing a few posts about it on your stories, talking to your team, when you post those stories about your team calls and stuff. What's up with that? What is your response? Which I know what it is, but just for people who are watching, who are probably getting that all the time.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I don't know if I was just like living under a rock or something, but like when my buddies told me about this business and they said there's 2 ways you earn in the business. One, you help customers, like if people order the workout programs or the supplements and then you become their coach, Beachbody thanks you for doing that by helping them, by giving you a commission, a referral commission. I said, oh, that's cool. And they said, if you help them and they get to the point where they want to become a coach and they want to help people, the more people that those people help, Beachbody is going to also thank you as well. They're going to thank you for not just helping your customers. They're going to thank you for helping your customers get to the point where now they're turning around and helping people of their own. And I thought that was such a cool idea. I was like, wow, that is like awesome. Like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard. Like, that's a great way to create a ripple effect and earn an income. And I never heard the term, like, is it a pyramid scheme or anything like that? So it just seemed like an awesome idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I heard people say, like, isn't that a pyramid scheme? So I was like, wait, I don't know. What is a pyramid scheme? So I looked into it and I was like, you did some research, and pyramid schemes are, something from back in the day that are illegal, that there's no product or service. It's basically just you pay money to get into a thing, and the money like siphons to the top. And so the people that get in at the end, like there's no profit because there's no product or service. So there's just money being siphoned between people. And those are definitely 100% illegal. With this, Beachbody's got amazing products and services and has a great profit. And the government is obviously very aware of it and is very happy to take a lot of my taxes. So obviously it's not, an illegal thing. I also like looked into like some of the people that were big fans of network marketing, like people like Bill Gates, like a very successful businessman. I don't, depending on your political views, Bill Clinton's a big supporter of network marketing, and so is Donald Trump. So, both sides of the aisle are big supporters of the network marketing business model. And then if you really look at how it's set up, like, and you look at how, and I was an auditor for 7 years, I've seen the ins and outs of a million types of businesses. And the way this is set up is very similar to a lot of the businesses I saw, where if you're kind of like a manager, almost like you could say like a VP of sales in a way, like you're the VP of sales, and then you're mentoring, managers. And then you're mentoring them to the point, which I did at PwC, you're mentoring them to the point where they can, help people of their own. And then, so like in a very like successful corporations, there's the VP of sales, and then they're in charge of mentoring the managers. and then the managers are in charge of mentoring the associates, and then the associates are in charge of mentoring the new associates. If you look at any corporate structure, it's the same setup as anything else, you know? So to me, this Beachbody thing was very similar to PwC. There's partners, there's senior managers, there's managers, there's new associates, and then there's, it just works out the same way. So
yeah,
it's the same pay structure as like almost anything else. So I never was really turned off by that pyramid scheme thing, because number one, I knew it wasn't a pyramid scheme. And number two, like the structure of it, the way it's built like a pyramid, is the same as any other corporation. The cool thing about this is you can out-earn the people that signed you up. Like I out-earn, the guys that I signed up with, just because it's not based on your, when you got in or, what your person above you or anything. It's like, how hard are you personally working? How many people are you helping? How many people are the people that you have inspired to become coaches? How many people are they helping? So that's how I never got thrown off by that. So whenever I'm talking to someone who's business minded and I talk to them about it, they're like, yeah, you're right. That's like, it's not a scheme. It's built just like any other business. It's allowing you to be a manager or be a partner at a firm almost, without having to wait, 25 years to become partner at a firm. You can start this right from day one and start to build your own team.
Plus you're doing it without the expectation of an office space or paying employees or, product development or anything like that. You're literally starting the business.
It's the best parts of being an entrepreneur without any of the stuff that I have no interest in, like employee salaries and
the office space,
dealing with having to have an
fax
office
machines
space and all that, like payroll. Like I have no interest in all that, like creating products and holding inventory and having a warehouse for inventory. Like I don't have to deal with any of that. All I get to do is just share what I'm doing that's working for me, point people in the direction if they want to do it too, and support those people. And Beachbody takes care of the rest. Beachbody takes care of creating the products. They take care of holding the inventory. They take care of shipping the products. They take care of the 24/7 customer support.
Yeah.
I just have to point people in the right direction, and Beachbody does the rest.
What's your morning routine like? I've got into a routine of 5 a.m. wake up, and then later on my meditation, a little podcast, and so on. So I have that hour and a half, 2 hours to myself, which I consistently share with people to get into the habit of. And you always get those, I can't wake up that early. I just can't. That immediately means that if you tell yourself that, you can't, of course, if you believe in that. But what's your morning routine like? What does Patrick do in the morning?
Yeah, so the thing that's helped me a lot is before I go to bed, and I usually try to do this 30 minutes before I go to bed, is I put my phone on airplane mode. And so I have no screen time the last 30 minutes before sleep, and I'll try to just read or do some breathing or a meditation or something. And then when I wake up in the morning, I don't take my phone off airplane mode until I'm done with my morning routine. Because the first thing I used to do was grab my phone, and then everyone else's agendas are flooding in, and I'm not taking care of myself. Like I'm just focusing on responding to all these other people, and I'm not giving myself the oxygen I need before I can start to, go out and put the oxygen mask on other people. Like they say on the plane, you got to give your oxygen mask, got to put yours on first. So the airplane mode's huge. That's the first thing. And then there's a book called The Miracle Morning that that to me was a game changer. I probably started reading that. The first time I read that was probably 3 years ago. And there's an acronym, SAVERS.
Yeah.
And so
I have the book
SAVERS acronym is S for silence, A for affirmation, V is your visualization, E, your exercise, R, your read, S is your scribe or your journaling. So I try to, if I can, hit all of those But I'm definitely getting in, the majority of those every morning before my phone goes back online, before I start, interacting with texts and messages and running my business and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously, my workout is a huge priority. That to me is like, I got to get that in. If I don't get my workout in the morning, like I just don't feel the same.
Yeah.
And then some kind of like silence, whether it's, I love doing Wim Hof breathing, the Wim Hof breathing on YouTube. There's like a 10-minute video on it that just kind of like oxygenates your body. And at the same time, like I'm kind of trying to like be a witness to my thoughts and just kind of not get caught up in thoughts, so that's kind of my little breathing and silence. Some affirmations, like I have a few affirmations. I have like an email that I wrote to myself like 3 years ago that I look back on and read some of the affirmations from that. And then just kind of like a little like quick visualization of like what I got coming up that day, who I'm going to be interacting with, how I want to show up for that. And then I'm always doing my gratitude journal. I got a little it's called the 5-minute journal that, I got a little quote every day that I post on my story, and I try to read, or write down like 3 things from the day before that
it's a very good journal. I do it every morning too.
Awesome. And then I'm either trying to listen to like a podcast or I'm reading a book. Right now I'm reading 12 Rules for Life that I really am enjoying. So yeah, that SAVERS acronym from that book, The Miracle Morning, is definitely kind of my morning routine, and the airplane mode is definitely kind of what keeps me accountable.
Awesome. No, that's a great idea. I did not apply that ever. I mentally try to. The thing is, my morning routine for the last 5 weeks is Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And what I do is I started with counting down literally to the camera. So I do pick up my phone in the morning, first in the morning, but it's for the sake of really, I just found that as a consistency of counting down. I don't like the light on my phone, but I just do it every day. You count down and then I just get up. Now I added more music to it because it entertains, and at the same time, it came to a point where other coaches, other people are sending me and tagging me and them going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So just kind of creating those habits and then influencing other people to do the same.
So you have is there an alarm that goes off? Is there an alarm that counts down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or you
no
that yourself?
So I set my alarm to 4:50 and 5 o'clock. Now my body, it came to a point where I just don't wait for my alarm anymore. I just wake up. So as soon as I do, I literally hold the phone to myself with the video, and there's the light. That's one thing that wakes me up because I need to wake up, right? Like I need to get up. So that's one thing. And then I just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I get up. I just get out of bed. That's what I do. Now I added music to it. I literally have the Amazon name. I don't want to say it because it's in my kitchen. It's going to say, well, what did you mean by that? But I say that, and I say, play this song, and it'll just start playing us music. And with the music, with the rhythm, I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, and I just get up. And that's, it's just a great way to, because the first 5 minutes of when you wake up, it sucks. And it always does. And that's what people don't understand, the fact that the first 5 minutes of you waking up at 5 in the morning, so you're saying no to something that's going to take you 5 minutes to step out of, and then you have let's say you have an hour extra to do your meditation, your morning journal, and all that stuff. People look at that as, I might as well sleep an hour, not necessarily realizing that the fact that if you did that every day, you have 365 hours of your life that you can actually do something for yourself. You can actually read a book. You can learn about something. It's perspective, right? So when you switch that on, that's what makes me get up in the morning, regardless of whether I went to bed at 12, 12:30. I need more. If I need more sleep, I do sit and just reward my body with an extra 30 minutes, an extra 1 hour. But when you create the habits, I think just like you said, if I don't do my workout, I don't feel the same. Same goes for that. When Robin Sharma talks about it takes 66 days to actually create a habit, and I think it's past 66 days now, I just see it as eating or doing the laundry or cleaning your house, something that you have to do in order to keep your house clean, in order to keep your clothes clean. I just do the same thing. Now it's a habit of waking up early in the morning and doing those things for myself. But airplane mode, that's a great option. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll just last question. I know I took so much of your time. I'm sorry. This is amazing, by the way. Fear of social media. Again, Batu, you're very inspirational. I have people around me networking. I can sign up a lot of people. Very, very tempted, but I'm not a big fan of posting on social media. What's the answer on that, in your opinion?
I don't know. I think for me, it's like I've always just, if there's something that I like, whether it's a movie or I want to share it.
Allow me to phrase, Pat, just to make it more clear. So, because people assume that you have to hold the phone to yourself and just speak all the time, because one of the worries, one of the things when people, before they join this journey, or the people who are actually in the coaching business, there's this automatic assumption of watching other successful coaches and trying to be like them, rather than the idea of, no, let me be me, but I'm a goofy dude. So is it going to work out? Of course it's going to work out, because then you're going to find your own people. Mm-hmm. So I think we can kind of think out loud here. And if you'll agree, if you don't want to do the social media thing, then showcase the product, showcase the maybe the beginning and the end results, and then maybe showcase the workouts. But you don't necessarily it doesn't have to be you all the time, just talking to people, because that's fear I have massive empathy for. But it's doable. Where there's will, there's a way. There's a way to do it. And you can be as successful as possible, as you can. It's just a matter of being consistent with it, which is a word that you always use.
Yeah. There's no, like, when I first became a coach, if someone asked me to do a live video or something, I would have said no way. I don't even think live video existed back then anyway, but I built my business without having to, the internet just went for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Perfect.
When I first started doing this, like, I didn't ever do videos or talk, to my phone or anything like that. I just was simply just sharing what workouts I was doing, I was just sharing what was working for me.
You did your first IGTV recently.
Yeah, I just did my first IGTV.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just, I don't know, if you're someone that, I think that the rewards were much higher than the fear of what I needed to do to get the rewards. So not in the beginning though. I think in the beginning, and there's a great quote from Jim Rohn about this, like the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. You got to pick which one, you're going to go with. So in the beginning, like, I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't, posting on social media. I wasn't sharing, because I don't know, like, I didn't have anything that I was like missing out on yet, until I was a coach for like a year or two, and I saw all these other coaches that signed up and started after me and were just getting out of their comfort zone and, reaching out and helping more people than I was, and they were having way more success. And then the regret of me not just getting out of my comfort zone and just sharing a little bit here and there without, I didn't have to be some crazy social media guru, but just getting out of my comfort zone just enough to share a little bit of what I was doing, what was working for me. The regret of just not stepping up and just doing that became so much stronger than the pain of like the fear. Like the fear just wasn't as painful as that regret that I was missing out on. And then I finally was like, all right, and the other thing, I just kind of got to the point where, why am I not posting? Like, is it because I care what other people think? And it's usually like one or two people that you're worried about what they might think. And so you're letting one or two people dictate your actions So those one or two people are dictating your success.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of got to the point where I was like, am I going to let other people's opinions dictate my results? Or am I going to let other people's opinions dictate my success? Am I going to let other people's opinion dictate whether or not I can, build this thing to the point where I can get out of a job and be able to have the freedom to just be my own boss? No, I finally got to the point where I was like, I'm literally letting other people's opinion, dictate that. And it wasn't even, it was like one or two people maybe that I was worried about. And so I finally the regret became so strong. It overrode the fear of other people's opinions. And I was like, plus I want to just do it in a cool, chill way that's not like salesy. I'm just going to share like what's working for me. And I'm just going to invite people to be a part of the party. It almost felt like I was inviting people to, a party at my house on Friday. Like if I was throwing a party on Friday night, like I would invite people to it and I wouldn't overthink it. If I'm, starting a new workout program, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to be like, yo, I'm doing this program. I think it'd be fun to do together if you can make it. If not, cool. But if you can, cool. Just like if I'm inviting to a party. And so I just kind of got out of my own head. I just stopped worrying what other people would think. And I'm glad that I did because it worked. Like I was able to reach some other people that did want that invite to the party. They did want an invitation to try something that might work for them, including the people I care about and love the most, and my parents and my sisters and my family. And now they're all a part of this now. And if I hadn't just started to just get out of my own way and just share a little bit here and there and invite them to it, then who knows what they'd be doing right now. But yeah, that I just started slow. Like I just started slow and just got out of my own way and stopped caring what other people thought.
Other people's opinions don't matter. Pat, man, a quick moment of gratitude. I am grateful for knowing you. And I mean that. Love you, brother. We've met for the first time, like face to face.
Yeah.
So valuable. I've been in the business for a little over 8 months. You've been in the business for a longer time, but the fact that we can just connect and the fact that you were nice enough to come on here and talk to me, much appreciated. You made the day, and I'm sure people who will watch it in the next 24 hours and the ones who just joined while we were live got a lot of notes, and I'm sure, man, I just wish you the best. I see you in NOLA. Will I see you in NOLA?
Yeah, at Summit next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nolans.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man. And my old stomping grounds is South Florida. I used to live in Delray Beach. So
nice.
I see the hurricanes coming, so stay safe now.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Once it passes, if you come down here, let me know. Grab a drink. Sure. It's great knowing you, brother, and I'm sure we're going to talk a lot. I genuinely want to be, I know it's as selfish as it sounds, I really want to be successful in this. And your content and your message is helping me a lot, just so you know. Very inspiring. Hats off and my greetings to your team. I'll talk to you again soon, brother.
I love it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for having me on here. This is really cool. So I didn't even know you could do this joint Instagram live. So
you're doing it from now on. So
yeah.
And my 2 cents on how I can inspire you to do something now following the next couple of days. So I'll be watching your lives, brother.
Love it. Awesome.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. This was awesome.
In regards to your family, have a great day, brother.
You too. See you guys.
Bye. Wow, man, that was a great call. Super nice guy. Very, very valuable information, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Back to work, back to continuing with our daily habits, our goals, our vision. Boom. That was a great call. I'm very happy. See you guys later. Bye.